God's love for Jacob. Malachi opens with the burden of the word of the Lord to Israel by Malachi 1:1, framing the prophecy as both weighty and personal. The Hebrew term for burden signals an oracle heavy with divine urgency. Malachi's name means my messenger, highlighting his role as God's chosen spokesman. He speaks in the post-exilic era, long after the temple's rebuilding, when Israel's initial zeal has dimmed. A civil governor, not a king, now rules Judah, underscoring Israel's reduced status. Before any rebuke, God declares, I have loved you, 1-2, anchoring his message in covenantal affection. This affirmation of divine love precedes and undergirds all ensuing correction. Israel's election stems from unmerited favor, not human merit. Yet the people, discouraged by unmet expectations, question this love. Their skeptical retort rings out, how have you loved us? 1-2. That universal cry, if you love me, why do I suffer? Echoes through the ages. God's answer reaches back to Israel's ancestral roots, Jacob and Esau, 1-2. Was not Esau Jacob's brother? He asks, reminding them of shared heritage. Divine choice, not birth order or human worth, shape their destinies. Yet Jacob I have loved, but Esau I have hated, 1-3, defines God's sovereign election. Hate here contrasts degrees of love. Esau was loveless, not maliciously despised. Election reflects God's sovereign pleasure and purpose, not arbitrary cruelty. Through Jacob's line, God intended to bless all nations. Esau's descendants, Edom, stood outside the redemptive plan. God laid waste his mountains and his heritage for the jackals of the wilderness. Edom's inheritance became a desolate wilderness, a stark symbol of divine rejection. Israel, however flawed, remained a vessel of God's covenant love. Edom's attempt to rebuild would be in vain. They may build, but I will throw down. 1-4. Divine justice ensures that the unchosen cannot frustrate God's design. Edom's perpetual ruin stands as both warning and comfort to Israel. God promises Israel's eyes will see him magnified beyond their borders, 1-5. His glory will outshine every rival power, falsehood. These opening verses weave together affirmation and admonition. Love and judgment form the twin threads of Malachi's message. The pattern, statement, question, answer, sets the structure for the entire book. By beginning with love, God shows that the truth flows from care, not caprice. Election is not cold doctrine but proof of tender, unwavering affection. God loved Israel despite their sins, an enduring model of grace. In Christ we see the same principle, chosen by grace, not earned by works. When doubts assail us, we return to our identity as God's chosen. Remembering past deliverances sustains faith amid present trials. Edom's collapse reminds the faithful that unfaithfulness incurs ruin. Israel's survival testifies to God's enduring commitment. Malachi 1:1-5 invites renewed gratitude and authentic worship. It calls Israel to ground their identity in divine love, not human achievement. Recognizing election breeds humility, not pride, privilege, not presumption. Later chapters will rebuke impure worship, indifferent service, and withheld tithes. Yet all correction springs from the affection that first chose Israel. Malachi 1:1-5 stands as a prologue of comfort before challenging calls to reform. It reminds us that God speaks both to console and to compel change. For us today, it underscores that divine love always precedes discipline. Our security in Christ mirrors Israel's assurance in Malachi's opening words. We too can declare, the Lord has loved me, and rest in that promise. As God's messenger, Malachi beckons us to heed this dual word of love and warning. Next, we'll explore Malachi 1:6-8, where God exposes reverence and irreverence in the priest's offerings.